Alright, so, I know I was confused in the big ol' Switch 2 reveal about if we were getting a February or an April Direct, and in the end it turned out as an April one. But, I still think we're getting a February Direct. Stay with me. Let's consider the facts here. Whenever the Switch 2 big presentation thing happens, the Switch 2 won't release on that day. There's still going to be a good window between that and the actual release of the system. To me, this means we won't be getting the system till at least middle of the year. You know, we're talking my birthday, June. You know, give me some money to afford the Switch 2, please. Or, you know, July, which is a garbage month for garbage people. Possibly even August. But I'm definitely thinking Nintendo will be banking for more so early, middle June to like early July at the latest. Now, what you'll notice is that there's still a good amount of months until that happens. About 5 or 6 of them, to be exact. So, what is Nintendo going to do in the meantime? As of now, we know of 2 releases. This being the Xenoblade Chronicles X guy and Metroid Prime 4. However, like how it's always been the Switch generation, we don't actually know when Metroid Prime 4 is releasing. In fact, many posit that it's going to be one of those big games for the Switch 2's launch. Xenoblade, as decent as a franchise I've heard it is a game series that has gotten a lot of representation on Switch. In fact, this is the final title of it that wasn't playable already. You can now play every Xenoblade on the one console, which honestly, even though I'm not a fan, I think that's pretty fucking awesome. But it got me thinking. I feel like Nintendo will want to do some more. It's just a little bit more, but still a couple of additional things to try and carry the Switch out more. Here are my theories. Number 1, Nintendo Switch Selects. Now, we've all heard about Nintendo Selects. You know, remember it back from the Wii U days, back from 3DS days. Heck, it's been a staple forever. Whenever a game does really, really well, since like the start, it then got a newly packaged version, which is a bit cheaper. The Switch, throughout its entire life so far, has went against doing this. This is because Nintendo really does value the work the developers put in, and they see each their games as like a proper thing, and oh, you know, if we start making games cheaper, it devalues the rest of our stuff, and blah, 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 all that garbage you already heard. The unfortunate thing for them is, this is the real world, and in the real world, whenever a new system comes out, hype and interest in the previous system tends to die down a lot. Nintendo definitely has enough capital to keep themselves afloat for this remaining time period until the Switch 2 releases, but I still feel like they'll want to have something, you know, some sort of way to slow down the inevitable decrease of money. So, what if they just got their old games, well not old games, but the games that are kind of pushing it a bit in age or didn't really reach as high as sales expectations they would have wanted, and give them that bit of a boost. I'm not talking about games like, let's say, Luminous Ocean. I'm talking about stuff more like Metroid Dread, Paper Mario the Origami King. Stuff that definitely did quite well, but not super duper amazeballs well. The kind of thing where if you put it back on store shelves, there's a high enough chance that people will buy it. Famicom Detective Club, especially in the West, I'd imagine, didn't do the best. Now, would Nintendo put that back on shelves? Maybe, to try and help promote Emio, the Smiling Man, but I do have my doubts. The announcement of Nintendo Switch games at a half price would just be a really good thing, and I feel a lot of people would buy it because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible. In a sense, people are buying these games to have like new game experiences, new Switch 2 games, you know? Plus, it could bring more eyes to more franchises. For example, let's say they're working on a new 3D Mario. Hypothetically speaking, Mario Odyssey going on sale would make a lot more people give 3D Mario a try for the first time. Could be kids, could be parents, could be God knows who, but now they're trying it, they find out they like it, now they'll buy the new one. It's been 4 years since the last 2D Metroid released. I feel that we might just be in for another one considering how well Dread did. Maybe Dread will now go on sale to trick more people into becoming Metroid fans, and thus there's more sales for Metroid. Tactical selects are a great way to ease people into new franchises. Even if Nintendo doesn't do new box arts, it'll at least allow them to clear out their inventories a bit. You know, oh look, we've still got a bunch of Mario Odysseys knocking about, some Tears of the Kingdoms, we'll just chuck those out, 30% off, there you go. Something like that. Another thing I suspect we'll see more of is GameCube and Wii ports, and remakes and all that type of thing. We've gotten a couple. There's that great one of the Thousand Year Door remake, and then there's a lazy Pikmin 1 and 2 ports. I would like to see more GameCube titles make their way over here. Super Smash Bros. Melee would be a really great way to make people wait longer for Smash. You know, look, here's Melee, it's got 60 frames per second, still got all the bugs though, because we know you like that. It's now got proper multiplayer, ain't that neat? That would definitely tide people over for at least a little while longer. I feel like the next Smash Brothers will take a good while. Sakurai only returned to work there back like, what, 1 or 2 years ago? And even then, who says he's going right back into Smash Bros? Hopefully he isn't, honestly. I think the man deserves a break from the franchise. Even in the event where he's not taking a break and is working straight on the next thing, this one is going to be built entirely new, from the ground up. That's gonna take a while. Having this would delay things, but would make it so Smash fans could calm their tits for a wee bit longer. Metroid Prime 2 Remastered could be a great thing for Metroid Prime fans waiting for Prime 4, but it all depends on who's working on it. I believe the Prime remake wasn't done by Retro Studios that much, so there's always a potential that the next game has been remastered, but maybe Nintendo will just give us 2 and 3 with no big changes. But at the same time, I don't think they would do that, because look at 1, you know, the 1 remastered, then you're going all the way back to 2 and 3 graphics, and then you're jumping up to 4. It just doesn't feel stable, but at the same time, that jump from 2 and 3 to 4 would feel a lot better if you look at bad game looking stuff, so there's a 50-50 chance either way, I guess. Luigi's Mansion would be my #1 want when it comes to GameCube ports or remakes, though. Even a port, I'd actually be way happier with a port. Just let me play the original Luigi's Mansion 2, and Luigi's Mansion 3 on the same damn system. I wouldn't be opposed to a proper remake, but like, if it's anything like the Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, no thanks, just, I'd prefer the original flavor. On the topic of remakes, there's 2 big Wii U remakes that we are yet to see on the Switch, and you know what? Fine. Alright, Zelda fans, I get it. You're a bit bummed, because, you know, the last system you got your big new game to come out with a new thing, but now you won't get that experience, and I know that for a fact, because you just got a Zelda game last year. You guys need something. So how about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker? Nintendo could just port over the Wii U ports, you know, maybe change 1 or 2 things, but for the most part leave them identical. Well, actually, there's a fair amount of gamepad support, so maybe not identical, but you get the gist. They don't really change that much. Or they could do the way funnier option to me and just port the GameCube versions of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, slapping them into the same bundle in the exact same way we saw Pikmin 1 and 2 have it happen. Super Mario Sunshine came to the Nintendo Switch through the 3D All-Stars collection, but it is now unavailable for purchase. Maybe they'll bring it back as its own separate guide? Maybe the same for Mario Galaxy 1, or heck, even 2? With 3DS ports happening rather frequently, it wouldn't be too crazy to see 3D Land also make its way over on here. I would really appreciate it, I guess, you know, that way the 3DS has even less reason to be used. I'm just kidding, I love that thing. Chances are, no. I'm mostly just spitballing here because, like, February Direct at all probably just won't happen, but I'm just thinking from Nintendo's perspective, alright, we need to ride out this storm a wee bit. We don't know what could happen in the world. Let's just get ourselves some extra insurance, shuck up some cheap enough games to produce, but will make us a bunch of money. Bish bash bosh. Nintendo Switch Online. This is a big thing. There are big titles missing from this still, and I feel like Nintendo might announce them in a February Direct. Smash 64, Wario Land 4, god that's 2 4s, wow. Games like that, you know? Conker's Bad Fur Day would be a big one as well, considering the fact we have the 18 Plus app on NSO2. Look, there's just a lot of different things one could consider as potential here. I don't think they'd add a new game service to it. I think it'd primarily be just giving us more of what we already got to try and trick more people into buying it, but who knows at this point, really. I'd imagine Nintendo's holding off on like DS support till the Switch 2. We could potentially see more third-party games added as well, or a new third-party system, but I just don't care, man. Alright, I'm a Nintendo fan, I'm not a Sega fan or an SNK fan or anything stupid like that. I'd be down to get like, I don't know, Secret of Mana or something on the Switch, but not like, ooh, look, it's the Sega Dreamcast. I just don't care. But at the same time, getting whatever system Crazy Taxi was on so I can play some Crazy Taxi, that would be something. Pokemon is also another important factor to consider here, not just in the whole re-releases stuff, but also when it comes to just games in general. They've been holding back on stuff for a whole last year, which can I just say I'm rather impressed with them about, so I feel they're going to be doing a big, wow, look at all this stuff coming very, very soon. With Legends ZA more than likely being the company's main focus, we might finally get to see the original Pokemon Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and all those sorts of games coming over to the service, because like, what's stopping them at this point? If Nintendo can afford the rights for Sega Genesis games on the Plus subscription, I think they can get Pokemon games on here, so clearly Game Freak has been holding back, or they just can't figure out how to get like link cable technology and trading to work. Will we see any brand new first-party titles? I hope not. Jesus Christ, do I fucking hope not. Don't give us anything new, please. Don't give us a new IP, it will flop. Don't give us a long-awaited new part of an IP, it will flop. It's stupid. It is stupid to do at this point. So, funny story about that. PH Brazil, someone who is also saying that we will be getting a February Switch 1 Direct, which, haha, that means I'm right, has went on to say that there will be a first-party proper title announced during it. He says we're getting more than just remasters. There is still one somewhat big game for the Switch. Yes, one big final Nintendo game from a beloved and somewhat niche series. What could it be? Could it be F-Zero? Golden Sun? Sheepy Robo? F-Zero? A lot of O's there. Heck, it could even be Wario World. Who knows? Personally, I'm hoping it's something I'm not interested in because I want all the things I'm interested in to be big things on the Switch too. So I'm sorry, Wario Land 5, you just gotta wait a wee bit longer, just the tiniest bit longer. Seriously though, keep an eye on Wario Land. I think that Pizza Tower and Anton Blast seriously shifted Nintendo's opinion on the franchise. Like, oh look, here's two insanely successful games, and oh would you look at that, they're just doing so well with reviews and people love them. Maybe we should bring the games that inspired that back. PH Brazil was one of the very first people to talk about the Switch 2 getting delayed to 2025, so there is some validity here, I guess. That's about everything I really wanted to discuss in this video. It wasn't even a proper video, like, it is, what, 4:41 a.m. I just thought, you know what, 10 minutes, I can quickly shoot out what I want to say. February Direct, I can see it happening. Here's why I can see it happening. Will it happen? God only knows. No matter what though, we will be seeing a Pokemon Day thingamabobber, and you know what? I am somewhat optimistic for ZA, so I might just watch that, maybe. Definitely not live, because I'm coming home most days at like 7, but still at some point. Like this video if you enjoyed it or want to come back to it, or if you agreed with it, I guess. Did you agree? You fucking better have, you bitch. Subscribe if you've watched a couple of my videos at this point, especially the Pikmin one. Alright, I'm really impressed by that guy. Go watch him right now, immediately, young man, or I'll lock you in your room if you don't. And comment down below what you think. You know, what are your thoughts when it comes to February Direct? As always, I didn't talk about third parties because who gives a fuck? I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. Besides, at this stage in the game, I think all the third parties will be holding their stuff back for the Switch 2, so. Oh, wait, one last thing. We might see, like, Wii Sports Resort ported over. That's a really random one, but it's just stupid and funny enough to work. Alright, bye-bye.